Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at another variant of Gholdengo. This time it's Gholdengo Rocks with Mega Lucario. This is one of the many ways in which we can deal with a cornerstone, and while Mega Lucario is actually quite good at the moment, at least with Gardevoir being on a bit of a down low in PTCG Live, and that's purely because of the rising Kangaskhan. And well, that's not a bad thing to have, having a way to just one-shot a Kangaskhan even with the tanking buff. Yeah, that's actually pretty good to have. So as per usual, in the description below there's going to be usual links to the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course the outro and what I think of the deck. So as per normal, we are taking a look at another Gholdengo variant. Obviously we don't have long left with Gholdengo, and there is a bunny variant which is with the rocks, which I'm going to be taking a look at as well. But obviously the bunny I think is just a superior build to this, because obviously, you know, we are still playing a 3-prizer, but, you know, the bunny hits just 230 outright and doesn't really need to rely on weakness or anything like that. And well, this Gholdengo variant does still have some punch, but obviously it does take a little bit longer to set up the Lucario to be doing huge damage. Obviously Gholdengo himself can just cover that basis anyway, but it's nice to have the option to take out a cornerstone, and while having a weakness advantage into the Kangaskhan matchup is pretty good to have. Obviously, we're only playing a 1-1 line of the Riolu and Mega Lucario. Obviously, we have covered Mega Lucario before. I have an updated list, but I'm probably not going to do a video on it. I'm not really decided on it yet. If you do want to see that, let me know. But Mega Lucario is just a good card right now. You know, it is held back by Gardevoir, but the moment that Gardevoir disappears from the format, this guy's going to be starting to do some serious work in the format. And I think that's what we need for Mega Lucario to be a successful deck. But other than that, it's your pretty standard Gholdengo Rocks variant. Obviously, we have 2 Lunatones, 2 Solrocks. We have the Fez in here as well for a bit of extra draw. And of course, we have the Genesect. And of course, even for just 1 fighting energy, Mega Lucario hits 130, which with a Premium Power Pro, that takes out a standard Kang. And most importantly, it takes out Fezzes for free, which is always nice to have. But anyway, let's go to the deck list and let's have a proper look. And welcome to the deck list. So I've tried to, you know, make my own take on this deck, but the issue is, of course, you know, you'd want to include more Premium Power Pros, but I'll be honest, the only way you're really going to be doing that is, you know, by cutting down boss count, cutting down Arven count, cutting down Fighting Gong count, cutting down Vessel count, and Air Balloon count, and, well, also the Stadium as well, which I don't like, and, you know, There's only so much you can fit in a deck, but there is definitely room to improve this list, I think. It's ran decently in testing, but obviously, you know, it can be something that you can obviously take a look at yourself. So we're playing 4 Gimmies, 4 Gholdengos, 2 Lunatones, 2 Solrocks, 1 Riolu, 1 Mega Lucario EX, 1 Fez, and 1 Genesect. Then, of course, we're playing 4 Arven, 4 Boss, 1 Turo, 1 Ciphermaniac, just a little bit more consistency. 4 Superior, 3 Fighting Gong, 3 Vessel, 2 Nest Ball, 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Buddy Poffin, 1 Super Rod, 1 Precious Trolley SRA Spec, 1 Ultra Ball, 1 Premium Power Pro, 2 Air Balloons, 1 Vitality Band, 1 Artisan, 8 Basic Fighting Energy, and 4 Basic Metal Energy. Now you could definitely up the Fighting to 9 and cut the Metal to 3. I think that would be a pretty fair start for this list, like changes. So far, I've not really felt the need to. It doesn't hugely matter, but, you know, the option's there if you want. The Vessel down to 2 could also be a consideration to maybe put another Premium Power Pro in. So that way Aura Jab just does a little bit more damage and obviously can, you know, one-shot a Kang a lot easier. Other than that, like, not a lot really needs to change about this list. You know, like, there is the option to obviously go, you know, like, Prime Catchers your ace spec. You can obviously, you know, play a higher count of the Lucario line. But ultimately, I think this variant is interesting and cool. But I think the bunny variant with obviously the rocks and everything is just a better variant, because obviously Mega Lucario, whilst it does hit a relevant weakness, in order to take out the big stuff, you do need a lot. Obviously, you need the... Sorry, I just had to clip my throat then. You need a Riolu, you need the Lucario, you need 2 Fighting Energy attached to this Lucario, which is done by manual attachment. At least with the bunny, it has obviously the Gale Thrust attack. You know, you have your air balloons in your list and things like that. You know, like there's a lot of option, and I think this is definitely an archetype that could be something. But I think because of the fact that, you know, Mega Lucario requires 2 manual attachments to actually take out a fully whacked out Kang with, like, you know, Lively Stadium, Bouffalon and stuff like that. And even then, you'd probably need a Power Pro if my math is correct. It's one of those things, like, there is a lot of consideration for this archetype, but I think it just falls a little bit short because of the fact that you have to manually attach twice to get the most value. Now, of course, Aura Jab is very good, but again, you're not really getting value off of it. You can obviously set up Solrock, you can set up Lunatone if you want, I guess, but you're not really, you know, like, setting up anything. Like, Fez is nice to have as an attacker, you know, that can be an option, but ultimately I think this variant just falls a little short. Anyway, let's get into a match and see how we do. And welcome to the first game. I just had to go and quickly check the door then, because I thought I had a parcel due. Still, I'm looking forward to seeing how this variant does. It's an interesting variant. I just think it's not the best variant of Dengo for, like, a cornerstone answer. I mean, we can at least attack with a Fez, but, you know, that's not much of a selling point. Although it can be, I guess. Let's go first. Why not? Normally you'd want to go second with an Arven Trolley build, but, well, I like to spice things up. It's not bad. We can obviously Fighting Gong for stuff. I'll take that. It's not bad. We can thin the deck as well. And we're up against Grass deck. Okay, that's fine. We're not going to get much use out of Lucario then. But that's fine. We don't have to use Lucario in every matchup. Monkey Dory, huh? That doesn't belong in a grass deck, but I mean, I suppose in a way it does. Let's grab you. We've only got one Solrock. We've got no Fighting Energy into prizes. We've got the Lucario package, so that's good. We have prized a Gimmighoul, but that's fine. Otherwise, not looking too bad. Let's go for the Solrock. We can then Lunacycle. Okay, that's not great, but it will do. So we'll just attach the Lunatone and pass. Don't really need to worry too much. Like, I can just go Trolley and, you know, Air Balloon. But to be fair, we've got the energy on the Lunatone. I'm not hugely worried. I'm more concerned at the fact that my opponent's playing Monkey Dory in a grass deck. Like, maybe it's like a Terrabox variant or something. Or maybe it's Crustal. If it's Crustal, then we just lose to this. There's no real answer to that. I think it might be Crustal because of the Luxurious Cape. It is. Of course it is. Great. Vessel. Oh wait, Bouffalon? Huh? What's Bouffalon doing in there? Unless he's playing Crustal with Kang. Which, I mean, everyone has a hobby, I guess, but... yeah, we don't have a huge amount of answer to this archetype, I'll be honest. You know, like, there's only so much archetype you can take account for. I mean, it's going to take me some time to set that thing up, but, you know, I'm not really able to deal with it. Alright, well, that's a good start. We can Nest Ball, get out a Gimmighoul. Well, then Artisan. I'm not going to Arven just yet, there's no point. There will be in a moment, but still. So, the most I can do to this is 110, but then, you know, they just heal it over time. So we'll go Precious Trolley, and we'll go for the Vitality Band. So, we'll retreat for now into the Solrock. I'll Vessel away the metal. Grab 2 more fighting, so that way I can Lunacycle. I'm going to Precious Trolley first, though. Grab you and you. Vitband the Solrock. I'll then Lunacycle. That's fine. So we'll go for the Cosmic Beam for 80. So like I say, we don't really play a response to this archetype. Like, you know, there's only so much you can tech, as I always say. You know, like, you don't want to tech something that can obviously bite into your consistency. And, you know, he was able to get the Air Balloon and things like that down. You know, like, he had those options. There's Pokegear. He's probably going to find a Crispin. And yep, there it is. Now he has a choice. He can either attack with the Crustal or he can start healing it. He's probably going to go with the attack option, which is a bad thing for us. Because like I said, again, there's not really much I can do here, you know. And yeah, he's going for the attack option. Which is fair enough. I mean, I only have one Solrock, so, you know, I can't really do much. Yeah, he's even got the ice cream. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to go to a game 2. I literally cannot beat a Crustle. My only way of beating Crustle has just gone down, so, you know, I literally can't. Let's go to a game 2. Oh, well, that was not a great start, now was it? And ironically, we're facing someone named Lucario. Hopefully we'll get to use the Lucario against him. But, yeah, see, that's the issue of, like, playing against stuff on the ladder. You're going to meet all sorts, and, well, facing, you know, Crustle in itself is bad. Like, you know, there's only so much you can tech, as, again, I always say, but, you know, it's not a great thing to have, I will say. So we are going second, which is pretty good. I'm happy for that. Obviously, we can Artisan for a Solrock and then get some drawing. We can attach a metal to the Gimmighoul and Minor Errand running, thin the deck out a little bit. So we have options here. There is an option to obviously play the Call for Family Gimmighoul as well. I don't see the reason, but, you know, I like it as an idea, you know, for extra consistency. But, you know, if you start a 70 HP Gimmighoul like this one, you literally can't get it out of the active unless you top deck Air Balloon, which, you know, putting an Air Balloon on the Gimme is fine, because obviously it does evolve into Gholdengo, but, you know, it's just something to think about. So let's go for an Artisan, and we'll use the Artisan. We'll grab ourselves a Solrock, or rather we would if they both weren't prized, which seems to be a running gag with this deck. Alright, well that just makes our job a little bit easier, or should I say harder. Right, well, we can't really do much then, in that case. So I'm going to do that. I'll attach a metal. Minor Errand running. Not much I can do here, unfortunately, folks. I'll grab a metal and a fighting. I've noticed that a lot with the Solrock Lunatone engine. You do prize it quite a lot. Like, both rocks of a specific one, you know, one of each. I've noticed you prize it a lot on PCG Live. That's not a bad thing, but it's just an annoying thing. You know, like now I don't have access to my draw, which is really holding me back. And obviously to take out a Lucario, I need 7, which, yeah, we're a decent way there, but, you know, all he needs is a fight and then he can attack with that Solrock. Which for some reason he's not. You literally have the knockout. Okay, I don't know what my opponent was planning there, but I guess that's their choice. So let's go for an Artisan. I really need to find myself what's-its-face. I need to find myself Genesect, because I'm not really doing anything. I'm going to grab Riolu, just so I have the option. It's not very good in this matchup, because obviously we don't take out a Lucario in one hit, but it's something. I'm just going to attach to the Riolu. And I'm going to buy the Errand running again, just so I thin the deck. Because clearly, we are dead drawing like crazy. That's just mad, though, that this is happening. I'm very surprised they didn't attack with a Solrock. I mean, to be fair, they didn't have the Lunatone, so that's, you know, that's something to consider. And, well, speak of the devil, there it is. But they could have Artisan for it, so I'm not really sure what their plan was there. They could have taken an early prize lead. Because, well, I don't exactly have my own rocks. If I could get them out, I would, but, well, they're both sitting pretty in here. And another Lilies. Okay, that's fine. They've not even done any draw yet with the Lunar Cycle, but they're probably just going to go Cosmic Beam for 70 and put some early pressure on. Which is annoying, because, like I say, I have to put down Fez if I obviously don't get anything. And there's the Ultra Ball, so they can get a Lucario established. Yeah, this is not looking good. I mean, the name is very fitting, given that he's playing Lucario, but I'm kind of bricking. So, you know, my Lucario is in the deck, but I can't exactly gain access to it right now. And there's the Mega Lucario. Obviously, is that the promo one? Yeah, it is. That's fine. Well, that's not really helping me now, is it? So, Artisan, just to shuffle the deck. I can Vessel away. Yeah, I can get rid of one of these Fightings, it's fine. So we'll do that. I might as well bench this Gimme, because obviously this Gimme is going to go down, and we'll just mine it Aaron running again. We're just bricking so hard, it's not even funny. I'll need to put down Fez though, because like they'll probably attack with Lucario, because they don't want me to take like big, well, like they don't want me to take out their Solrock Lunatone engine, but they're kind of bricking as well, which is interesting. Well, that's just annoying, considering we have 7 energy in hand. And that's still not helpful. And there's the Cosmic Beam, so that's going to be fun. And obviously we don't play a counter catcher in this list, so that'd be really nice to have, but we don't have it, because I didn't put one in. Dengo doesn't really run a counter catcher, because you want to be going quad boss, pretty much, but, well, we ain't exactly been doing much. Are they going to Hariyama my Riolu? Which would be weird, but I suppose they can. And yes, they are. Why would you go for the Riolu? You can't even take it out. What is the point? You know, like, you cannot take it out. Are you seriously going to Mega Lucario this? Oh my lord, what is this guy doing? What are you doing, my friend? Why would you take that out? Oh, I really would love to know this guy's mentality, but, I mean, whatever keeps him up at night, I guess. Alright, so we can, if we have Ultra Ball in deck, which I think we do, well, that's just rubbing salt in the wound, isn't it? So I think we had the Ultra Ball in deck, which we do. Excellent. So now we can get ourselves Genesect. So we'll Ultra Ball away Mega Lucario and the Air Balloon. We'll grab the Genesect, so that way we can thin a couple more things out. So we'll go Genesect for... I was going to make a joke and say Genesect for 2. Like the, you know, the shall we say, the questionable deck that was running around a long time ago. So coin bonus. There's no point retreating into the other one to obviously get full value, because then it means I have to attach again. Okay, we're just drawing into energy apparently. So we need 4 more, which we can get. But it does mean we have to throw away this air balloon. Which is fine by me. I'm happy to do that. To take a 3-prize knockout, I'm very happy to do that. So we'll do that again. Fighting Gong again. Grab another. Mega Rain 350. Bye-bye, Lucario. You really shouldn't have done that. And that's a 3-prize turn. We'll take that. I really do not know why they did that. That was very stupid. You know, why would you not just attack with this and take out a Gimmighoul? That literally makes no sense. Like, you know, you can't obviously see my hands, obviously, but like, you know, like the shocked face sort of thing with, like, you know, you're putting your hands just above your forehead to be like, oh my god, why did you do that? I don't know why he did that. You know, like, I understand you want to take out the Riolu, but the Riolu is not getting me anywhere right now. And, well, we're probably not going to be using Deng or Lucario this game anyway, but I had it as an option. But I don't get why he attacked with it, you know? I don't see the reasoning. And, well, now he can Mega Brave, but again, if you do not hand disrupt me, I can very easily get there. The Vitality Band doesn't matter, so I can throw that away, but I can Solrock and Lunatone for more draw. I'm pretty certain you just lose here if I get the right draws, mate, so I really don't know what you're playing at. Taking out my Riolu was the dumbest idea you could have done. You could have limited my draw. But, I mean, like I said, the most damage I can do with my Lucario is 310. And I need Vitband plus Premium Power Pro to actually do it. But hey, keeps him awake at night, I guess. Alright, let's go into the Dengo. So let's see what we can do. Because obviously we can thin with the Genesect, thin with the Artisan. That's a good start. So let's Metallic Signal first. Then I'm going to Artisan, just to shuffle the deck. Because obviously I can just go Solrock here, so that's what I'm going to do. So we'll do that, do that, do that. Vessel away the Vitband, because I don't need it. Grab Double Fighting. Lunacycle. Okay, that's pretty busted, actually. I can Ciphermaniac and get, like, another superior, but I don't think I need to. I can Ciphermaniac anyway, just so I have that as, you know, there, I guess. I'll be honest, I don't really need to grab much after this. I can just go superior and then a card that I want to discard. So then I have a bit more consistency. So I'll just do that. So then we'll coin bonus, get those two. So then I'll superior away the Lunatone and the Buddy Poffin, which we just grabbed. So obviously we'll need a fighting energy for this. So then we will Dengo again. That's fine, we're going to discard it. And we'll discard this as well and get game. Excellent, so we'll just do that. We've already attached. And just to rub it in his nose a little bit further, I'm going to do a full 400. And there we go, nice easy game against Lucario. I have no idea why he tried to go for the Riolu there. That was a really odd decision. But hey, we'll take the win. That's 2-3 prize turns back to back on double megas. That's what we'll take. Let's go to a game 2. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, and it appears we've paired him again, unfortunately. Again, I don't know what he was playing at. Like, I understand you wanted to take out the Riolu to obviously stop me from having one. But I only play so many options in the deck, you know? And to be honest, I had a really bad start and you still lost. I prized both my Solrocks, like, you know, I couldn't get going, so to speak. But still, he's making us go first again, which didn't work out for him last time. So let's see if we don't prize both our freaking rocks. And when we start the Lunatone, but that's fine. I can deal with that. He's even got the balloon Pikachu sleeves, which I wasn't really paying attention to. Ironically, this is the exact same starters, I think, that we both had in the previous game. So I'm going to go Ultra Ball away these two. I can get back the Metal Energy, I'm not worried about that. So, I have prized one Gimmighoul, but I've not prized any Dengos. And I've not prized my Solrocks. Good, that's what I like to see. That is fine. We will grab the one Gimme. So we'll do that, pass. Because at least then we can go Air Balloon into the Gimmighoul, evolve it to Gholdengo and get some draw going. If we can take out the Makuhita, it's just a benefit, I guess, but, you know, we don't have to. It's not a big deal if we don't. And Iono, that's fine. Sucks I'm losing my Dengos, but we can get them back. There's Mega Lucario. I didn't see Riolu in the deck. Interestingly enough, I didn't see Riolu in the deck. But that might have just been me not looking for it, so to speak. So I'm going to go for the Artisan, and we'll use the Artisan. I didn't see it in the deck. It is in the deck. Okay, that's good. We can use it later. Because clearly, he wants to gust it, so, you know, I can live with that. So we'll go for a Nest Ball. We'll grab ourselves a Solrock. I probably should have grabbed Gimmighoul off of that, but it's fine. We're going to have Fighting Gong. I'm going to grab the Riolu, I think, just so I have the option, you know. So then we'll Vessel. Grab Double Fighting, just so I have that. Lunacycle. It's kind of a bit of a Vitband there, but it'll do. Evolve to the Dengo. We don't need to worry about him getting a 2-prizer, because I'm genuinely not worried. There's the Arven, so we do have the single prize knockout, which is nice. So I can go Vitband, and I can go... What do I realistically grab here? Like, do I just grab another Vessel, or do I grab the Trolley? I'll just grab the Vessel. I think it's safe to do that. So we'll go there, retreat, Cosmic Beam for 80. At least we actually got to do that this game, so that's something. But that's the single prize knockout, and if he goes up with the 3-prizer, it just makes my prize map a whole lot easier. So let's see what he does. He can obviously gust the Gholdengo and obviously take it out. I don't really care if he does that. The only issue with that, though, is we don't really have another Gimme... Like, we have one Gimmighoul on the bench, but I'm not hugely happy with the board state right now. I mean, we could use, like, the Solrock to soften up the Riolu. And we could take it out with our Mega, which could be an option, you know? We could do that. It's not a bad idea. He's gonna grab, well, he's got a choice. He's gonna grab Hariyama to, like, gust my Gholdengo early. Ooh, that's a horrible discard. No! What are you doing? No, that is a horrible discard. He just got rid of a Lucario and a Hariyama. What is this man playing at? I mean, if he's an inexperienced player, I can understand it, but what are you doing? I literally take out this Riolu as well. Well, there's the Hariyama, but what does Hariyama get you? If you go for the Dengo, I just retreat it. Are you seriously going for my Riolu again? Oh, you've messed up, my boy. You have messed up. Alright. I don't know what his beef is with my Riolu. I genuinely don't. This is mind-boggling. So we'll Vessel away the Fighting Gong, because I get more value off the Vessel. So we'll go attach. Mega Lucario. I'll coin bonus for 1. Lunar Cycle. Okay, that's fine. And it concedes. I don't know what you was playing at there, my friend, but stop gusting the Riolu. I don't care if you do, but I had the Mega. Stop gusting the Lucario. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know, but hey, I'll take the win, I guess. Let's go to a game 3. And thankfully, we don't pair against the same opponent who seems to have real beef with me playing Riolu/Lucario. We did obviously attack with it, but I would have probably just put energy around my board just so I can retreat. Like, I'd have put one on the Lunatone at the bare minimum, but the rest I'd have just left in there. But I don't know what he was playing at. Like, why are you gusting the Riolu every single game? It's a 1-1 line, you know? You committed so hard to that that attack, it just didn't make sense, you know? I don't know, but that's hurt my head for today, let's put it that way. I mean, if anything, Riolu's served as a pretty good bullet sponge. Like, you know, you gotta have a sponge in some cases, I guess. But no, I don't know what my opponent was thinking there. I generally don't. And well, we start the Solrock, which is really nice. I do like to see that. And the Trolley in hand. Oh, we're facing Slacking. Oh, this will be spicy. I like this. And an immediate pass. I'm afraid, mate, that's a donk. Fighting Gong. For the Lunatone. Bench. Attach. Cosmic Beam for 70. I'm sorry, mate. I don't know why it forced me to take a prize. The guy's already lost, but okay, game 4 it is. That was just, I was hoping to face Slacking, but well, he chose to go first. Brick didn't find his fan rotor or anything like that. And well, yeah. Let's go to a game 4. Well, after that one, we actually got into Tyranitar rank. That was poor. I mean, why was there a Dusknoir line in there? I don't know if like you saw at the end there was a Duskull in like the bit that was obviously, you know, shown and everything, like the cards in their deck and stuff, or like one of their cards in their deck. I don't know why there was a Duskull in there, but I think it was because there was a list that did quite well at a regional. I think it was like top 64 with Slacking, and it had like Dusknoir in it and stuff like that. I mean, I get the idea, but as much as I like Slacking, he is a bit slacking on this format. Pardon the pun, of course. Alright, let's see what we're up against this time. And hopefully, well, we're not facing the same dude. Like, you know, I would love to know what my opponent was doing, like, in that Lucario game. Why was he gusting the Riolu so much? Does he not like the fact that I'm playing it or something? I don't know. But we do start with a mulligan here, unfortunately. But hopefully our opening hand won't be too bad. I mean, if we had a basic, like, Lunatone or Solrock, this would be a pretty okay opening hand. It wouldn't be great, but it'd be enough. But hopefully we can get going and see what we can do. Well, there's the mulligan. We only give away 1. We do start the Solrock, which is nice. We get some nice early pressure, and we have a boss in hand, which is even better. So that's good. We can Artisan for stuff. We can Fighting Gong for the Lunatone. We can get off to a good start here. And obviously we are going second. Joltik. Okay. Why would you go first for that? I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst thing in the world. Precious Trolley, sure. Wait, hold on. Doesn't Mega Manectric use nothing but lightning energy? Why are you playing Joltik? Unless it's like a Joltik box with like a 2-2 Mega Manectric line, which, you know, that makes sense. But why would you, why would you start the Joltik and go first? You know, that doesn't make sense. What the hell is this pile? So we've got Joltik, Electric, Dynamo, Iono's Wattrel, Magnemite, and Pikachu EX. I mean, whatever rocks your boat, buddy, I guess. Alright, let's go for an Artisan. We're going to grab ourselves a Gimmighoul. In fact, Riolu is going to be really good, because Riolu hits for fighting weakness on most of these dudes. So Lucario is actually going to have some value. And there he is, so we will definitely do that. They're going to have a heart attack when they see the Gimmighoul, though. I'll Vessel away the Fez, just so I can get some extra cards. I think realistically I just take out the Electric, like I'm not worried about anything. So, I have prized one of my Lunatones, but I'm not worried because they don't tend to go for the Lunatone. So that's fine. So then we will Lunacycle, get some draw. That's good, that's good, that's what we like to see. So we'll attach Air Balloon to Solrock, Gust the Electric, and Cosmic Beam for 70. Lucario is going to be pretty good in this matchup, because obviously a lot of their Pokemon are fighting weak, so we do have that advantage. There's our second Lunatone at the prizes, that's good. Now obviously, Lucario will not be able to deal with Pikachu, but it can at least do something about it, which is good. We can always Gust a Pikachu if we want to. Like, we don't play a definitive answer to Pikachu, and Pikachu's pretty good against Gholdengo, so we could always Gust it and just Plink it for 70. Another Joltik? Okay, sure. I don't know what I'm facing here, but I think my opponent has maybe left the oven on. I don't know. Let's see what happens. There's Ultra Ball, get rid of Ursaluna and a Buddy Poffin. That's fine. What are they going to grab, though? They could grab Killer Wattrel. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Fair enough. They also have free retreat on this Dynamo, which is pretty nice. So that's at least something, I guess. And there's the Lilies for 8. That's fine by me. We made some really interesting decks today. Like, obviously, Lucario, you know, we've met. There's a Magneton, but Magneton's not good right now unless you want to give me a free prize card. I mean, I won't say no to that, but yeah, I think next turn I'm going to Gust this Pika, most likely. I'm not worried about the Joltik, I'm more worried about the Pika, because the Pika's dangerous in this matchup. Obviously, we only have a single prize, like, we only have single prize board state, but that's not my point. The point is that I can't definitively deal with Pika. There's Galvantula, not a big threat, but it is still a scary one. But we can deal with this, it's not a big deal. Like I say, I think just for, not my prize map, but just for getting an early hit in, I'm going to Gust the Pika. I think it's correct to do that. Alright, let's see what we do. So, Artisan can give us another Gimmighoul. Lunatone can then get us some draw. There's a Dengo, but I'm not putting it down yet. So I'm going to Gust the Pika. And we don't do weakness to it, but we do Plink it. Now, he can attack with that Pika all he likes. It is 3 energy away from dying to a Dengo, so I'm not worried. And even then, sorry, my throat just went weird then. Even then, I can just go Lucario. I don't have to attack with Solrock. We have the Air Balloon on the Solrock, so I'm not worried here. If he retreats into the Galvantula, that's fine. He probably does play Crispin, but still. Dawn? What is this opponent cooking? Because again, I think they've left the stove on a bit too much. Electric. Was that Magnezone EX, or are my eyes deceiving me? Nope, my eyes were not deceiving me. Not going to be very good in this matchup, I will tell you that for nothing, but what a weird deck. What a very weird deck. I mean, you can Dynamo to the Pika, I guess. I do have to deal with this Galvantula as a 2-prizer, but there is a world in which I don't. If I find Premium Power Pro, I could take it out with a single prizer. Well, there's Shocking Web. The only thing that was shocking was the fact that my opponent is playing a deck like this, but we will gloss over that. And we'll go into Gimmighoul. Because I don't really have a hugely safe retreat option here. So let's go for the Artisan. I'll grab another Solrock just so I have to draw. Lunar Cycle. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll Vessel away the Lunatone. Grab ourselves a Metal Energy. Now I don't want to Arven this turn, I want to Gust that Pika. So let's see if we can do that. So we'll coin bonus, see if we can draw to a boss. Nope, that's fine. Coin bonus for 1. Okay, we don't get it, but that's not a big deal. We can deal with a Pika later, it's not a big deal. So I'll play Arven for turn this time. So, I'm going to grab Ultra Ball and a Vitband. The Vitband doesn't hugely matter here. In fact, no, does it? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to put it on a Riolu. Then I will... In fact, I don't need to Superior right now. I will Ultra Ball away this Gimme and the Arven, though. Just so I can get another Dengo down. But again, I don't need to. I'm probably just going to grab the Lucario, but keep it in hand. So I think that's fine. And yeah, we will just make it rain for 100. Take out the gal. Job done. I could have Super Rod, but I don't think I want to do that right now. I don't need to right now. And here comes the Pika. But because of that plink earlier, I am not scared of the Pika. The only way in which I am scared of this Pika is if he plays Jumbo Ice Cream, in which case I will cry. So we've got a decent number of energy in the discard pile, so Lucario can actually help set up some of our board, like put on Solrock and energy so we can start like gusting the Joltik potentially. I think we've got a good advantage here. I think we'll be fine. There's Magnezone, but Magnezone's not very good because it's 50 energy attached to each of your Pokemon. That's the attachment for turn, so unless they have Crispin, this Pika's doing nothing. So let's see what they do. They need Crispin to get this Pika attacking. If they don't, we just pretty much, well, we just take this out. Flashing Draw for 1. They have to hit a Crispin off of that, because if not, I'm taking this Pika out. Their probable best option is to go retreat this Pika, probably the Lightning Energy, so you can obviously Dynamotor. And you know, just please do not tell me you're attacking with this Magnezone. I mean, I'll love it if you do, but, you know. I can't Lucario it right now because I don't have a Fighting Energy on my Lucario, or my Riolu. But no, I get what my opponent's going for here, but okay, they're going for a Gust, that's fine. Are you going to plink me with Energy Crush for 50, perhaps? No, you're going to Jolting Charge, that is fine. Not worried about that in the slightest. That is fine. Very interesting deck. I'm not seeing any signs of energy though, I must say. Alright, so we have the guaranteed retreat, but I'd rather do it with fighting energy if I can. Okay, that's fine. Excellent. So I'm going to Super Rod. I'm going to put back the... because I'm probably going to lose my Solrock, so I'm going to put that back. I'm going to put back a Metal, I'm going to put back a Fighting. So we will Lunar Cycle. Turo's great because I can help. I can use it to set up my board, and I can attack with Lucario. So I think that's correct. So let's go for the Turo. Pick up the Lunatone. Go into the Riolu. We will then evolve to the Mega Lucario. Coin bonus for 1. Nice. Coin bonus for 2. Obviously we can't boss in this turn, but we can at least draw with Dengo. So that's at least something. Not bad. And yeah, we will just Aura Jab for 280 because of the Vitband. And of Sweetness. And I'll just put the 1 on there. Just so I have the option. And that's the knockout. Nice and easy. And plus, Magnezone's only doing 150 right now. I'm not afraid of that Magnezone. Lucario in this deck right now is going to win us this matchup. There's the Mega Manectric. So if they have the away... Well, in fact, no, they're 10 short. They need a Vit Band. They need a Vit Band on that Manectric to actually KO my Lucario. Do you have a Vit Band in that deck? If you do, well done to you. But if you don't, yeah, you just lose because I have Quad Superior in hand. Maybe he has a Vit Band? I don't know. I don't know his deck. It's just a pile of cards. Or as we would say at locals, it is a deck of 60 Pokemon cards. But no, at least we got to use the Lucario this time, you know, like, it wasn't like the Dragapult video that I did the other day with Zacian, where we literally just used the Draco because everyone kept gussing, and I couldn't set up a Dragapult. But, like I said in that video, it's like Dengopult. You don't always have to use it. There is a time and a place for it, and sometimes that time and a place is getting gusted and sent to the discard pile. But yeah, something tells me he doesn't play a Vit Band. And if he leaves this Pikachu in the active, he's got the air balloon to retrieve it for free. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. Alright, let's see if we can draw into a boss, because we should have some in deck. Let's Nest Ball and check the deck. We have 2 boss in deck. There is a good chance we hit it. So let's Nest Ball and fail it. We'll do that. We'll go Night Stretcher so I can go back in energy. And then we will Lunacycle first, just so we get to see more cards that way. And yep, that is game. So we go Fighting Gong for a Fighting Energy. We attach the Lucario. We boss the Mega Manectric. And we will Mega Brave for 560 damage. And that is game. I'll take that. Good job, Lucario. You're not the best Mega in this deck, but... you know, well, the best Mega for this deck, but you did your work there, pal. Well done. Lucario has always been a favourite of mine. That went pretty alright, I think, and definitely showcases the power of the deck. I mean, Dengo is already good, but having the option to have a fighting weak answer is pretty good to have in this economy right now. So, what did I think to the deck? I'll be honest, I think this deck is okay, but I think the fact that Lucario is, you know, more of a backseater, because obviously you do need to double it. It's like Mega Mawile, and why I don't agree with Mega Mawile in, you know, or Dengo lists at all. I'm not, like, discrediting anyone who plays Mega Mawile, unless, like, if you play Turbo Energize, not a problem with you. It's if you don't, is when I start to, like, raise an eyebrow at you. I think, like, a one-off Crispin could be something you think of if you need Lucario in a specific matchup. Could be something you look at. I don't think you need it. Turbo Energize, again, I don't think you need it because you'd have to put the 3-prizer down, and Lucario is weak to one of the most common decks in the game right now, so I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe in the future this variant could have some success, but I think upping the Premium Power Pro count, maybe, you know, configuring the list so it's a bit more focused on Lucario, but also still keeping the Dengo package, you know, that could be something, but... ultimately, it's just one of those things that you can think about. And like I said, Night Fighting Energy, replacing one of those 4 Metal Energies. Again, you can do that. It's entirely your discretion. Having the 4th Metal, though, just felt really nice in the list. But yeah, I think this list is a good one. You know, like, there is a lot of potential here. But at the same time, I think the Lopunny, which is probably going to be a variant I look at very soon on the channel, you know, it's going to be pretty much this. But instead of, you know... the Lucario side, it's going to be a 1-1 Mega Lopunny. It's pretty much going to be the same deck, but pretty much, you know, Mega Lopunny in it and all that jazz. But no, I think this deck is really good. I think it's got a lot of potential, especially going forward into the, you know, the format and everything. But obviously, when Gholdengo dies in rotation, you can just turn it into regular Lucario, and Lucario is going to be a beast post-rotation, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, we'll leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Gholdengo Lucario, and I'll see you next time.